What's going on, citizens of Paterson? This is Ilyas Oksas, trying to get on the ballot for mayor. Today I'm going to talk about liberal economics and why it does not work. And to show you this, I'm going to reference Wilfredo Pareto. Wilfredo Pareto was an Italian scientist from about 150 years ago. He came up with this principle. It's called the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle is also known as the 80-20 rule. It basically says that 80% of your effects are caused by 20% of your causes. Pareto, he found out about this because he was messing with pea plants, and he noticed that 20% of the pea plants produced 80% of the peas. And then later on, he also proved that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by 20% of the population. Let's talk about instances where the Pareto principle applies. It applies to your clothing wardrobe. 80% of the time, you're wearing 20% of your clothes. Also, in your home, 80% of the time, you spend it in 20% of the space in your home. 80% of the world's wealth is controlled by 20% of the population. A lot of times in business, 80% of your sales comes from 20% of your customers. So this is something that is a common occurrence in nature. And I kind of drew this graph to kind of visualize the Pareto principle. Like, this is what Pareto observed with the peas in the pod. 10 pea plants and their pea production. This is the curve for Pareto's principle. So, what does this have to do with Paterson? When you apply liberal economics to these pea plants, this is what will happen. When the liberals see this, they'll go to the 20% and they'll say, why are you producing all those peas? You can't produce all those peas. That's not fair. So what we're going to do is we're going to block your sunshine, and we're going to cut off your water supply, and we're going to step on you a couple times. That's what the liberals will do to this 20%. And then harvest time comes along, and they say, how come we don't have any peas? There aren't any peas. And everybody suffers. What does this have to do with Paterson? There's also another thing that follows the same principle. 20% of Paterson residents pay 80% of the taxes. So the liberals come in and they take that 20% and they say, we're going to take away all your resources. We're going to take away all your resources. We're going to step on you. We're going to stifle your ability to produce. So the liberals, they basically squash the 20% of the taxpayers that are paying 80% of the taxes, and they prevent them from producing, and they squash them and they stifle their production. Then they say, how come we don't have any tax money? How come we have a $2 million budget deficit? Well, how did that happen? That's liberal economics for you, and it does not work. It goes against Pareto's principle. That's what liberal economics does, and it's destroying Paterson. And not only Paterson, it's destroying Stockton, California, bankrupt. Detroit, Michigan, bankrupt. That's all because they're using liberal economics, and it's going against Pareto's principle. The 20% of the residents that pay 80% of the taxes, those are the ambitious, hardworking, talented, and intelligent people in Paterson. We're stepping on them. And you know what's going on? Because that 20%, they're not stupid. They're leaving. They're leaving Paterson. It's a mass exodus. Actually, I would say most of them are gone already. Look around you. You can tell that most of the 20% of the talented and hardworking, intelligent people in Paterson have left the city. They have left Dodge. They have left Paterson. We could try to juggle the budget, and we could try to, balance the budget and make cuts and do whatever we need to do. But the damage that we have done to the human capital of this city is atrocious. All those talented, intelligent, hardworking people that are leaving, that have left, they're not coming back. And they're not being replaced with talented, intelligent, hardworking people. The human capital of Paterson is decimated. Paterson is an environment where smart, intelligent, talented people can't thrive. It's basically a talent graveyard. The damage that has been done to the human capital of Paterson is something that Paterson won't recover for probably another 50 years. It's really hard to bring that human capital back. The liberal way of doing things is not working. The Democrats have a monopoly and they're running amok. This is why you should not vote Democrat. Please sign my petition. I still have a ways to go and time is running out. So I urge you all to please sign my petition. They're available in different stores and places throughout the city. If you can't find them, give me a call and I will get one to you personally. So get my petition signed and let me get on the ballot and let's fix this broken system in Paterson. If we don't fix it, things are just going to get worse. You're going to see a continuous deterioration of the city. We need an environment in Paterson that's going to pull in some talented, hardworking, ambitious people. And right now, Paterson has nothing to offer people like that. Nobody's going to come to Paterson the way it is. We have to make the changes necessary to make that happen. Sign my petitions, get me on the ballot for mayor. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later.